2 day passes, yeah.
All right, we're taking a look at last year's events surrounding ColaCon, and they're back and they're here in the WACH Fox studios. So we're very excited this morning. You know, it's Friday, we got a great big football weekend, but we're all about ColaCon right now. And with me this morning is Jabobs and Nikia Phoenix. Thanks guys for coming down.
Thanks for having us.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. First, Preach, I'd like to start with you. You are kind of like the founder and organizer behind ColaCon. Tell me what got you inspired and how you put this together.
I'm a musician and journalist based out of here, and I'm a huge fan of music and comics. And I've traveled to a bunch of comic conventions across the country, and I noticed that there wasn't anything that meshed music and comics together, and I thought it was such a natural fit. So we tried it last year, and the response was just incredible.
I love, you know what this is, reminds me of, like, because out in California they're very creative with stuff like that. It's kind of very cool that we have that right here in the Midlands in our capital city. So good job. Let's talk, this is my first time.
Okay.
Okay, so walk me through this. I know that there's obviously comics involved. But you incorporated music, and I'm thinking when I looked at your website, I'm seeing a lot of hip-hop action. In fact, some really big names. Hello! What's going on? Let's talk.
The idea was basically this, where when I would look at these conventions, you look at comic book culture and hip-hop culture, they're so similarly related, where, you know, Ghostface Killer's moniker is Tony Stark's, which is Iron Man, you know, and hip-hop has that alter ego identity that's in there a lot. And a lot of illustrators that I know, they start off being graffiti artists. So to be able to put comics and bring bigger hip hop names to kind of bring people to the event and have them stay and look at all this local talent, that was kind of the ethos behind putting the show together. So this year we have Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang Clan performing tonight, which is Friday. And we have Fight from A Tribe Called Quest performing on Saturday. And then within those 2 days, we're going to have a lot of panels, film, and it's going to be not just music and comics. We want to incorporate all forms of entertainment, whether it's film and fashion, et cetera, et cetera. I
want to talk about the panels for a minute, because that we can bring in Miss Nikia Phoenix for that. Tell me about the educational panels. What purpose are you hoping to achieve with this?
Well, the panel that Nikia is on is called Ladies First. Okay. And one of the things that I notice in comic book culture is that there's not a strong representation of women involved in comics, and also I think other forms of art. So
they seem to be a little exaggerated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so exactly. So like a lot of times when I go to these conventions, you know, women are just dressed up in Wonder Woman costumes, you know, but there's
maybe objectified a teeny tiny bit.
Exactly, but there's amazing female illustrators involved in comics. There's you know, the panel, we're also going to have independent female musicians that are doing a lot of great things. Nikia is going to be involved more kind of the entertainment fashion side, and I guess you can talk more about that in a second. You know.
Let's talk about it now. So Nikia, you're a supermodel. I love that, and I was planning on hating you, but you're so nice. Thank you. Tell me a little bit, we only have a couple seconds, but I want to know what your focus is for your panel.
I'm focusing on, my modeling workshop is about showing people how to embrace their natural beauty and not give in to stereotypes. Like Preach was saying, a lot of these comic book conventions, a lot of entertainment focuses on the over-sexuality of women. So I want to show people that you don't have to be that va-va-voom kind of girl to be a successful model and actress.
And what kind of examples, and I just found out we have a little more time, so we can dig in a little bit. Tell me about like some of the examples you use to get that message across.
I have a blog, and on my blog I write a lot about, you know, modeling, fashion, style, and I show people examples of here's what you could do, but here's what you shouldn't do. You don't have to be this video girl and put yourself out there to be successful.
I imagine that you have to have really, I mean, amazing first-hand knowledge of this, being in the world of fashion and being, you know, a beautiful model. You're kind of put in the environment where objectification is just sort of part of it goes along with the territory in a way. And I used to do things like that, and working with the photographers and the agents, they kind of play into that. And so you really need a strong sense of self and a support system, I think, to kind of navigate the straight and narrow path.
You really do, and I talk a lot about that on my blog and when I talk to other models, that you don't, if you're not comfortable doing something, don't do it.
Love it. I love that.
Call your agent, call whomever you need to, tell the photographer, listen, I'm just not going to do it. That's not me. That's not what I'm about. Just don't do it.
It's as simple as that. And then now we only have a few seconds. So what are the other panels we need to kind of look out for? And then like what are some of the films besides FroboCop are we going to be looking at?
The other films, we're going to have a screening of the Tribe Called Quest documentary.
Okay.
That was nominated for an Oscar last year for the soundtrack. We're also going to have LaShawn Thomas, who's the illustrator and creator of Black Dynamite animated series, and he's also worked on the Boondocks on Adult Swim. He's going to be doing panels. We're going to show an episode of that cartoon. And some of the other panels, we're going to have panels that are real focused on, you know, how to get involved in comics, how to be writers in comics and that type of thing. We have about 9 panels within 2 days. So this
Can I just tell you, this is so cool. I've never been into comics. I've never really been huge in hip-hop, but I'm going to Cola-Con.
All right now.
All right, well, it's going to be all weekend long, starting today. Fantastic music, comics, and of course some educational panels as well. We're going to be back with more, and FroboCop is in the house. That's right, he's here, so stay tuned to Good Day Columbia. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.